And I'm recording the session and I'm sharing my screen. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm just going to recap the introduction to mastery one more time. If few of you have missed, we just wanted to catch up. Basically, I'll walk you through all the way from the beginning. Right now, I'm kind of logging out. Some of you have the URL to log in basically. So I'm just logging into the SuccessFactors portal.
Sorry, like to begin with, we can also talk about the provisioning system and also like who can log into the instance first.
Sure. The provisioning system is basically given to consultants mostly who are certified, and it is given to all the clients. It is where you go into the system and actually make changes to the settings. Okay, so I'm just going to pause a little bit here since you already talked about provisioning system. I'm just going to pause the recording.
Privileges like the admin tools and like other privileges only assigned to him, and then we can create as many admins as possible, and then under the home, whatever we have been licensed and whatever is access or whatever is activated in the provisioning system is what is listed under the home page, home tab. So other than whatever is not licensed or installed, we cannot see under the home tab. Yeah, go on.
Very good. Yes, I'll show you an instance. I have access to two instances. In other instance, you can see this list is pretty huge. So this is an instance where we purchased pretty limited access. So you can see only goals and performance and talent is available, reporting analytics. But there is an instance we'll see where you have this list is pretty extensive. You can see you can have learning module, you can have recruiting module, you can have employee essential module. So all this will be listed.
So, Hari, like I have a question, Shella, here. So whatever we are doing in the provisioning system is going to carried forward to this system, right? To the instance?
Absolutely. Any changes that you see, any changes that you make in the provisioning system should reflect right away.
Okay, got it.
It's the configuration. That is the configuration tool.
Yeah, you enable the things in the provisioning system and it gets reflected in the instance. Like you have to wait for some 20 to 30 minutes maybe sometimes to get the changes to reflect here, but otherwise it could be instantaneous as well in some things.
Mm-hmm. And provisioning system is only for the consultants, right?
Yeah, only for consultants, right. Only for consultants who are certified.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to worry about that because every client whosoever is implementing or having the implementation will have the provisioning system access. We need to just work on that to enable the switches and like mostly work on the instance in any implementation actually.
Yeah, when you go to the client, they will have access to the provisioning system. They might give it to the certified consultant, but if they trust you, they will probably give it to other consultants too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, the reason access is restricted is because by turning on a simple switch, it's a lot of repercussions, within the system. So they want that access is fairly limited. And the first thing, as Mahesh said, is that the very first activity that you will do in the instance here is creating the admin account. The administrator is the first person to get into the system. He will be the first person to navigate or start some basic things within the system.
Customization, yeah.
Okay. And I'll mute everybody. There's some background noise. Okay. So with that, this is our starting, home page that everybody would see. All these things are called portlets, and these portlets are fairly customizable. We talked about it, in the last class. You can go into this thing called tile browser. You can say add or remove tiles. When you go here, you can see anything that you see here. My goals, for example, this is a portlet. You can disable the my goals portlet from the home page. So I can say remove, and that will be gone. Same thing, my info tab here, remove, that my info tab will be gone from the system. I can click on it and those will be gone. So I can go back here now, go back into the goals, add to home page, my info, add to home page, and they would show up, back here in the system. And then there is something called a to-do list. Users can customize these things. You can go into to-dos and to-do list manager. Basically, it'll show you what all the activities that are due or that you need to do, for today. Let's say, you're carrying on performance evaluations, you're carrying on compensation. So all your work list, the to-do list, the things that you need to do, 60 days shows tasks that need to be completed within the 60 days will show up on your to-do list. Go ahead, Mahesh.
Just to add here, to-do list shows the tasks which are current, which are active are the current ones, and which are completed will show in the recently completed ones. And there is one more tab or one more thing which is missing here. So it will also show at that particular time it will get activated. That is en route. It's called en route. It will activate at that particular time whenever the task has to be completed, and that will be set as a reminder for the person to complete it. And then just to add to the admins, you can create any number of administrators, and you can have a security administrator, a super user, who will have special privileges or admin privileges to do user management, security management, and do the administration part for the organization. You can carry on with this.
And also the helps and tutorials is a very useful tool. There are a lot of videos, 2-minute videos SuccessFactors has produced on how to navigate, how to log in as an employee, what are your roles and responsibilities. So very great help. If you have time, please do come into the help tutorials and do watch all the all the videos. With that, I'm going to jump into the, I'm going to go into home, and I'm going to go into the admin tools. The very first thing I want to show you is the proxy. Proxy is basically logging in as someone else. So I can log in as you, I can log in as a VP, I can log in as a director. So I'm proxying in right now as Carla Clark, and okay, so I'm logging in through her skin. So I'm transforming myself as Carla Clark. So I'm looking at this thing as her, basically. So proxying is a nice feature to be able to troubleshoot things, to be able to review some things, and you have to set up proxy, or you have to give access. You need to have access to be able to do the proxy. And also there is a second thing called options. Options is where you set up all the self options. Basically, I'm going to log out, log back in again. So
that is the customization of the home page, basically. That's what it means.
So if I go into options, my start page. So you can say that as soon as I log in, my home page is my start page, but you can make your goals page as your start page. You can do your performance page as start page. You can change what is going to be your start page here. Okay. You can also do your sub tab configuration. Your main home is home, and what are your sub tabs? You can always do goal plan, the second one, goal plan tutorial, performance. You can do your sub tab configuration. Notifications. In the notifications, you can say receive emails to me or no emails. Okay, you can choose to disable it. You can choose your language. Obviously, for most people it's English. Again, this needs to be installed by the admin. This is to be enabled by admin. Right now, English is a pretty default for most people. And you can set the numbering scheme how you want it. For US, we do comma, 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 and point. And you can also set a proxy here who can proxy on your behalf. Okay, with that, we looked at the proxy, we looked at options, and I'm going to just go into administrative tools. So as an administrator, this is where you're going to be in. And I've already completed the setup wizard Setup wizard is like a 7-step process where you can go through and set up your goals worksheets, basic forms that you need in the goals, basic forms that you need in performance management, basic forms that you need in the compensation management. So right now we can see this access for this admin provides access to compensation, performance management, goals, talent, analytics, company settings. See, for example, you can see the development, pay scale based, all disabled recruiting, so you don't have access or they've not been purchased at this point. You can minimize these sheets, you can expand these sheets. I've already completed the setup wizard, but if you wish, you can actually go through and work through that setup. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, just to add, the administrator tool is actually the one which initiates and manages all the activities. It's a tool, or it's set of tools which is given to the administrator to do daily management of the SuccessFactors system and do configuration and implement system features, and like also to customize the environment to like match the business objectives of the company.
Another cool feature about the tool search is you can, anything that you want to customize, for example, my goal templates, manage templates. So I can search any feature, you can access it through the menus, or you can also go here, like say for example manage templates, you can do that here, or you can go here and do manage templates as well. You can do in both places. Search is a very easy way to access and find things easily. And also upgrades. So anytime if there is a new SuccessFactors provides quarterly upgrades. So anytime you have a new upgrade, you can see the important upgrades are listed here. New mobile administration panel, you can click on it and learn more and apply that change. For example, down below you can say upgrade now. Okay, I'm just going to click on it. Are you sure you want to upgrade to the new mobile administrative panel? You can undo this feature within 10 days. Yes. So now this feature is going to be available for me to use maybe after a few minutes. Typically it takes about 5 to 10 minutes. There are recommended upgrades. Same thing. New compensation worksheet is available. So this is a new look and feel. It will tell you what it is. It's a new compensation worksheet including new features requested by the customers with a fresh look and feel that makes better use of the space on the page. So the upgrade. So you want it? Okay, yeah, I want it. So yes. So now when you log in back again, next steps, all the worksheets have been already upgraded. Congratulations. It will take 5 minutes for this upgrade to take into effect. So this is how you manage the new enhancements, the new upgrades to the system. I'm going to go back again to the admin panel. And we looked at the search, we looked at the proxy, we looked at the options, we looked at this menu path at the very top, and setup wizard. You can feel free to take a look at it. So here the very first thing is the manage employees. I can reset users. Means if you get locked, your ID is then I can come back here and do the reset tools. Gonna go back here. The next one is reset user passwords. So if you lost your password, again this is just to unlock your ID. This is to reset your password. I can send a welcome message to the user. I can manage the proxy, just we talked about. I can also do the user permissions. So with the user permissions, I can go into compensation management permissions. I can also do the mobile user permissions. I can also do the job access permissions. I can do the security permission. I can also do the security permission reports. I can also permission to manage the home page. So some people can change the home page and some people cannot change the home page. So I can manage the, so I'm saying all employees now grant permission. So permission to manage the home page has been granted to 10 users. I have 10 users now in the systems. All the people can now, manage, they have access to manage their home page now. So they're all very, simple, basic, settings.
Just to quickly add here, company processes and cycles are totally the company settings, which are system-wide configurations options, and then the manage employee is like the tool you need to manage the users and security total.
And I'm going to go into detailed reporting privileges. I'm going to see who has all the privileges to do the reporting. And I'm just going to look at my own ID here, SuccessFactors admin. And for example here, detailed reports has been checked. I can report on all divisions, all departments, all locations, all HR jurisdictions. So I have reporting authority, reporting privilege, for example here, across the board. So you can limit, because HR data is pretty sensitive, you can only access reporting for people in the Mexico, only to in that jurisdiction, in Canada, only to their jurisdiction, Europe, only to certain jurisdiction. If an IT person, you can only give it to an IT department. So you can give access to permissions to report some data only to certain users. You can do at the individual level. You can also do it at the group level here. So we looked at the let's look at the compensation management permissions. Okay, I'm going to go to the individual settings. Pretty easy to see. I'm going to look at Sheila, search users. Okay, so check means compensation management privileges are not there. I can say click on that. I'm going to say grant. Now that user has access to compensation. One user has been granted to compensation management permission. So you can go ahead and run the compensation worksheet, access that particular module. So that's how you access, give users access. Either you can do as a group or you can do it individually. Okay. So basically all this section here is about users, managing the permission, managing the security access, fairly intuitive. Take a look at it. I'm not gonna, detail, everything. Let's go look at one more thing here. This is the dashboard. Who can do that? Basically analytics. Who has access to analytics? Who has access to do reporting permission? I'm going to do again the same person here. Sheila starts with, and here it kind of shows you who has permission to do ad hoc reporting builder, who has permission to do the advanced reports, who has permission to do the spotlights, who has permission to UCalc tiles and dashboards within the dashboards. So gives you permission to the analytics module within the system. Analytics module again is right here. You click on admin tools, you click on reports. That's where the analytics module is, and it'll give users access to who can look at the dashboards, who can do UCalc tiles, you can do the spotlights, you can do the ad hoc reporting builder. Ad hoc means self building your own information sheets within the system. So with that, I'm going to go back here again. The one thing we would like to show you is the export import users. I can also do, for example here, I can manage users. Problem. Okay, doesn't matter. Yeah, I can import users, I can export users, I can manage mass, I can manage users en masse. It's called the UDF file. I can look at the UDF file template. I can import and export using the UDF template. Just give me 1 second. Let me get the file ready, and I can we'll walk you through how to make changes to that file. Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay, I'm sharing now again. What I did was that this is the UDF template, user directory template. And the way I got to this is I go to data import file template. Okay, and I say open, and it creates it opens up the template for me, and the template looks like this: status, user ID, username, first name, last name, gender, email, all those things. So I can enter the data right here and I can save it and I can re-import it back into the system. It's just a basic CSV file, Excel sheet. So I'm just going to close it right now. So if I have to import the users, let me open up. Actually, I have that sheet open already. So the one we created previously is this sheet. Okay, I exported this sheet initially, so I can export all of my users into an Excel sheet. I can make some changes, add a few, brand new users. Okay, and let's say Control C. I'm creating another ID here, employee new ID equal to 2. Say Sai. Okay, so whatever. Okay, I'm just gonna create that. I can activate, deactivate. I can assign who the manager would be. I can assign their email. I'm saving that, yes, and I'm just gonna go back here. I'm browsing the file. I'm opening that. Okay, I'm going to validate that file. Has errors. Invalid HR. It's all for employee 1. All for employee 1. Okay, employee 1. So what's going on with this employee 1 ID? Let's look at that. It says there is no HR department called admin. So maybe I'll do those things. Save it again. Yes. So it says invalid HR ID called admin. Okay, let me do the browse again. For other users now. Okay, there is no such thing called admin. I don't know, maybe somebody removed it or something. So let me do that again. So okay, RH doesn't matter. I can just take that. I can do that too. Either way, doesn't matter. Again, I'm going to save it. I'm going to go back, browse. I'm going to come back, validate. There is no human resources ID now, so I'll just say no HR.
Yeah, you just change it to row number 3 to 7. You need to change for all those.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. It worked the other day, huh? So
yeah.
I saved it. Browse. Import. Oh, it should hopefully it'll go through. Okay, no errors found. And now I'm going to do import. Oh, I got to do it again. This is painful. So now no errors. Now I need to do import. I need to do okay. So now I'm everything goes well. I'll have my new employee successfully added, and I should see employee 2 now in the system. Okay. File has been successfully uploaded into the server. Okay. Now let's go back to the admin tools.
So essentially we can add users by 3 ways. First is the quick add, and then second is the detail add, and the third option was what was shown right now. It was the mass upload or the mass import.
As you can see here, we added SAIVANI, and then this is employee N, that ID I gave, and this is employee I gave. So that's how you add people to, and then go ahead and click on let's say I want to change jam admin. This is the general information, and below is the contact information. I can go ahead and change it. So name, just the basic information, username, email, job role, job title, HR, resource, no manager, mail, division, department, whatever, IT department, HR. You can give them a title and a hire date. Okay.
So Hari, we can add directly on the server too, right?
Directly on the, this is the server, yeah.
Yeah, like instead of the mass upload, if we have like individual employees joining
Yeah,
in,
you
so
can
we
add
can
individual,
just
yeah, by one at a time, yes.
directly one at a
you
time.
Yeah, right here,
yeah,
right here, I'll show you. I go
click on
here, I go to
add
manage users, and right here.
Okay, and this is when a new employee joins and you don't want to
Yep.
disturb the mass data. Okay.
Yep.
And how do you create the email addresses? Is it something the admin creates, or is it a system default with the first name or something?
Well, the emails, obviously, you cannot use this email ID, right? SuccessFactors.com. So you're going to be using the company ID. So as soon as a person joins the company, that Outlook admin will get you an email. So you would have an email, right? So let's say my
Okay.
name is John Doe. I would say johndoe.xyz.com.
Okay, so that is from the Outlook admin, and you just import that. We don't really have to create that, right?
Oh, you have to when you click on the new ad. When I say click add, whatever email ID that employee got, you key in that here.
Yeah, that's what, like how does an employee get an email ID? Like there are, say, suppose multiple first names which are like same in the
Well,
company.
that all depends on in the email admin. They will take care of all that.
Oh, they'll take it. Okay, yeah, thanks.
Yep. So yeah, obviously you can add users. You can import from an Excel sheet. You can export these to an Excel sheet for any other purposes. If you have anything, questions, always any tab, very useful. Watch a 2-minute tutorial. Okay, very helpful. I'm just gonna play it out real quick here. You can see it.
Hi, I'm Natasha from the product team here at SuccessFactors.
Okay, so you can watch the videos at any given time. Nice intuitive information for this particular portion. If you have any questions, if you want to dig deep into that that particular page. So in the manage section, you can we just talked about it. We can talk about the groups. We can do the export import. Basically, groups. Go ahead.
Yeah, we can also assign proxy using that template. Like there is a place in the template wherein you can do mass proxy changes if you want to.
Yep. You can download a blank template.
Yeah.
Open it. If you want to do a mass proxy, giving, let's say, assigning one person, per department or something like that during annual compensation worksheet, or you're assigning somebody to do on their behalf, you can come here and do it. So user ID, proxy ID, who's going to be proxying it, all that information.
If you want to remove also, it's the similar way you can do that.
Okay. And then the company settings. Basically here, yeah, you can do upload company logo. The logo at the very top, pretty easy. You can create any JPEG file, any PNG file, change it. I'm not going to even show it to you guys. Try it out. Text replacement. So any text that you see within the system, you can customize it to your own taste. For example, the default text SuccessFactors provide is reject. You can change that text to decline. Okay. So for example, subjects is a default text by SuccessFactors. They change it to employees. So any text that you like to customize, that you like to change to meet your taste, you can come here and change it. For example, you can say project team, right? I can say here project unit, something like that. Okay, or maybe project teams, let's say development teams, so unique to your company. You can customize any of the default text that you see anywhere in the SuccessFactors long list. You can change, search and replace and save. I'm going to go back to my admin tools. Go back to company settings, upload logo, text replacements, rating scales. Rating scales is like whenever you do in the goals, compensation, all those things, like it's 1 to 3, 1 to 5, or 1 to, what is the scale in which you want to have the system do the ratings. So you can come here, create the rating scales, and you can reuse the rating scales in any of the processes. So right now we only have one rating scale, 1 to 5. Okay, 1 being unsatisfactory, 5 being exceeds expectation. Sometimes in companies it's opposite, 1 being great, 5 being bad. Okay, so whatever your company decides, you can come back here and you can change the rating scale. You can change, hey, I want to use 1 to 3 scale, I want to use 1 to 5 scale, I want to use 1 to 4 scale. So rating scales have to be, you have to come here, create the rating scales, and you can use the rating scales throughout the company, anywhere. So I'm going to use 1 to 3 rating scale, okay? And I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to do, well, I got to change the whole thing here. So sorry, I'm just going to stick to what they have. I'm going to say R13, maybe, simple. R13 rating scales. It's English, R13 rating scales. I'm just going to go back and save it. So you can do, up or down. You can add, I can add a 4 now. I can add a 5. And then you use the rating scales in other processes when you do your goals, performance management, compensation, all those things.
However, SuccessFactors recommends to use the 5-point scale, not the 1 or the 7.
So we have this 360-degree review, and then this 1 to 5 is for Likert scale, I believe. So they use both of them, or they go together? How's it?
It depends on the organization, whatever they.
Oh, they can choose if they want to go with this one.
I'll show you. Yeah. When you go to the template, so it's a 3-step process. Okay, I'll make it very easy for you, right? One is the template. Template can be goals, performance, or compensation. Okay, any template, any business process. You take a template and you assign a rating scale to a template, and then you assign a route to a template.
Route map is nothing but a workflow in SuccessFactors.
Workflow, and here, how do you want to get rated? And then the third thing is security, access. Who needs access to it? What is the template? How you want to rate it? How needs to go, go from one person to another person, and who needs to access to it. So if you can define these 4, your process is done. And the same thing here, same thing here, same thing here, same thing here.
So are we also taking care of the security? Like we don't want the rating to be known by other employees, so do we have to know that the flow, like only a manager should know and then the employee should know?
Yeah, actually there are 3 stages here. First is the signature stage. Then the manager will review it, and then it goes to the completion. That's to the HR.
Okay.
Yeah, the route map basically takes care of that workflow, and we can add multiple levels as well in the route map. Say you have the employee who will complete the form or the template, and then submit it to review or enter his comments and submit it for review for the manager. Manager will enter his comments and send it back to the employee. The employee will sign it or accept it and send it back, and then the manager receives it again, and then he sends it to HR for completion. So that completes the total process. And in case there is a second line approval required, the manager sends it to the second level manager, and he approves it, and then that goes to the HR as completed.
Okay. So like some organizations, what happened, the managers give the rating, or some organization the employee gives a self-rating, and then it goes and then it comes back.
Yeah.
So it works either ways, right?
Yeah, SuccessFactors allows like who can edit, who can send it to next level, and who can exit the. So those three things can be controlled here.
Okay.
Okay, and I also want to give you some information. I know in one of the classes you asked me about Workday and SuccessFactors. I did a lot of research. Apparently what they say, according to the research, is that Workday is a little bit better product than SuccessFactors, but SuccessFactors has a better user base. So because of the SAP has 65,000, 80,000 different licenses. So they have a stronger marketing team, and they have a stronger sales team and a stronger customer base compared to Workday. But according to the product comparison one-to-one, Workday came a little bit superior, not a whole lot, like maybe 3.9 versus 4, like a few points difference. So Workday was a little bit better than SuccessFactors. But the two right now looks like, maybe they're between them, maybe they got like 80% of the market right now. There are others, Connexa, and there are some other products, maybe like small niche players, 20%, but 80% seems to be gotten by these two players.
Yeah. Yeah, Oracle Fusion also is competing with them.
So, and they're both cloud-based. They both have very similar models. Only certified consultants get access to get to do the configuration. They both are recently last 2 years started. They both do the same thing: goals management, performance management, 360 management. It's pretty much identical in respect to job prospects, with respects to futures. But SAP has a little bit of edge because of their large customer base. Okay, come back here. Why is this thing going again?
Yeah, you can show that V12 homepage.
Yep. So rating scales, we looked at all these things. Org chart configuration. Okay. Oh, password login policy. Pretty simple. When does passwords expire? When does what is the minimum length? What is the maximum length? You can set all those things here. Okay. Pretty easy and intuitive. You can just talk to the company security guys and come back here and manage all that. Okay. Org chart configuration. Please enable org chart. Okay, so that's not configured yet. We'll come back to that later. Okay, so route map. We talked about it. We need rating scale and the route map. So we talked about rating scale. Route map is workflow, how things will flow from one person to another person. So so right now I have a route map. Actually, this is a 2015 annual worksheet, which is a form ID is 4, and this is one of the form templates basically. And I can go into the next step and then modify the work templates. Okay, let me go search by the forms again. R by, okay, it's called R something.
R13, I think.
Yeah, R something, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I don't know why it not show up. This is a self-assessment template. Basically, the concept of the roadmap is you have 3 steps. You have a single role route, you have an iterative route, and you have a collaboration route. In the single role, it's only going to go to one person, one employee. They can enforce a start date. You can set automatically send on due date. That means it's going to go to the next step. You can do start and exit date. You can enforce the date with these things, or you can do the iterative steps where you can go to, it'll go from one person to next person to next person. Okay, and you can also do this collaboratively, means simultaneously edit and review by 2 or more people. So basically customizing, you're basically designing the workflow, how you want it to happen within your system. We'll come back to this topic. Roadmap is a little bit very important, and we'll definitely come back to this thing before we get into the other module. Just wanted to show you that's where the roadmaps are configured. Okay, so upload logo, pretty easy. We looked at the text replacement. We looked at the rating skills. We looked at the password policy. Roadmap will come back again. So Mahesh, you wanted to go to here?
Yeah. This is basically customizing the home page, how a look and feel of it. You want to make it large, you want to make it small, you want to like rearrange it, you can do all that. So it's basically customization of the home page.
Yeah, so for example, I had my team, and now it's large, I can make it medium. I can set, can it be removed by all users? Can it be not removed by all users? Let's say my to-do list, right? So let's say I don't want this to be removed by all users, so not removable, I can set. Something very important, something, very high profile, I can say, hey, they have no power in customization. Like in something that is not links, for example, right? I don't want, you can make it very small. People should be able to remove the, the links. And it'll set you what the default, and you can add a tile. I can say, I'm going to add a tile to my worksheet. And I can say, training all employees. Okay. Put in a description. I can put in the source, or I can put in, the content, right here. I can put in, some pictures.
Even the link can be uploaded here.
Yep. Okay, where did it go? To-do list.
There is that custom training.
Oh, okay, right here, okay.
You need to save it once again.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go back here. Let's go back into route maps again. Let's see. Okay, start master forms. Okay, I would strongly recommend you to watch route maps this video. Okay, go into route map list in the admin panel, both for the route maps as well as your rating skills. Watch the 2-minute video. Okay, and these are all the existing route maps that are in the system, and you can just click on, I don't know, just one of these things at random. And you can see that this is how this particular route map is configured. Okay. For compensation planning, it's a single role. For HR review, again, it's a single role. And then once it's completed, it's gonna go. So we're gonna spend a lot of time on the route maps. How do you create the route maps? How do you change the route maps? How do you change it? How do you actually see the thing flow from end to end? Okay, manage job roles, competencies, events. Okay. Anything else in this section, Mahesh, that we missed? If not, I'll jump into the presentation.
Yeah, you can go to the home page and just can talk on the under the home what all options we have. Yeah, the home provides access to all the activities and processes in the system, and also gives you an overview of the status of your performance activities. And then there is something called JAM. It is a social networking tool provided by SuccessFactors to collaborate within the company. You can share information. You can network with other people in the company. You can monitor activities, information, and things like that. And you have something called goals. It is an online worksheet to create your performance objectives, and it can be tracked throughout the year. And you also have performance, which is it will organize the performance in form of folders. You have inbox, you have en route, and you have completed. And inbox will contain all the forms that require your attention. En route will have all the forms that you have sent to other people, and then completed contains the forms that are completed. And there is another thing called company information. It will show all the company specific materials, information, links, and tools which are specific to the company. And you have reports as well.
Yeah, let me pause, Mahesh. I know I unmuted everybody now. There was a lot of noise. So does anybody have any questions? Hello, Saivani. Does this compare with with Workday, that what you've seen?
Yes, sorry. Actually, the Workday which I worked is the thing is little bit different from the SuccessFactors, but it's compatible actually, because they are with all the modules now. They are with time, payroll, and all. So when I say,
and you can restrict that through that admin privileges, and you also can grant the role-based permissions based on the role the person is executing. He can be tagged to a group, and then that group you can add the users and enforce the security through that way as well. So it is like you can have restricted access and change, moving things, deleting things. So everything can be controlled here, and there is also audit trail of who changed what and all that.
like like in SAP, like we have SAP security people who will be providing us access, and they as I know, because like when I was working with one of the client, the contractors had a restriction to some of the things, like where in production where the access is denied, right? So that same kind of thing is followed here also. Like do we have security here also, or is it the admin is a person who does it?
Yeah, is the person who will control all the security thing. We can go into that admin tool, and then there is that manage section for users, and that controls the entire security. And then as I said, detailed and pinpoint security also can be given to any user based on his role, position, or like anything,
Yes.
like minute level control can be exercised. Yes.
Okay. Is it like so? Is there some as SAP
No, the
a
administrator.
particular person sitting for that role, or is it like the SAP
Yeah, there
is
is.
one of the administrator role, or is the if I joined as an SAP a success factor consultant, is that I will be given the control, or is it like there'll be a separate person whom we need to ask for the accesses and they provide it, or is it like that, or
Yeah,
is that like everyone can do on their own security?
no, no, no. Nobody can no individual security is there.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, like you can there are an organization can have a security admin, and a super admin can be both administrator and also super user. So it depends on the organization. Like if they have feasibility or can employ one more security admin, they can do it. Otherwise, the super admin himself or the administrator himself can play a role of the security consultant as well. As in, like we can do security, we can do workflow, we can do uh, middleware things as well. So it's a thing wherein administrator can do anything basically.
Okay, and about the proxies, like so, how much like this proxy can help us? Like, so
Yeah.
we can view the other person's screen, like as I've seen, like Harry was going to a
Yeah.
proxy and he was going to their screen. So how much like is secured there? Like how much like how like when I'm working in something and I can just go put proxy
Yeah.
to him and then just go and see his view. So is it
Yeah.
like how secure is that kind of proxies like now? Because I didn't see in SAP, so
Yeah.
that's it's because like in SAP it gets logged if you're working on something and it gets logged and we cannot see the screen and until we get the permission there, right? So like but in success factors when every person can just give a proxy name and get into his system, so how much secure is that?
No, actually,
Or do we have it?
unless until you raise an issue as that there is some issue with the user, the proxy will not be used, or if the manager or whosoever is going on leave or vacation, he will give to somebody who that person trusts and knows that that person will only have open view and approval access for specific things. You can control the proxy to that extent and then give authority to do the changes as per that restrictions. And like the account holder has some issues and the administrator needs to solve that. The administrator can log in through the proxy into the person who has the issue and then fix the issue. So there is no security breach or security violations here, so it can be controlled in whatever way we want to.
And who gives the authorizations again? Again, is it like in SAP we have authorizations? So is that the way they give the authorization, or is it like how do we get authorization to make the changes?
Yeah, it's all like you need to enable first in the provisioning system both the admin privileges and also based permissions, and after that that will get replicated in the instance, and then the administrator will be able to do the pinpointed security related work through the admin tools. So it is controlled, and then it is really restricted as well.
Yes, but it takes a lot. Like to do all these things, going to provisioning, enabling it, again coming to the admin giving the access, and again getting the restriction,
No,
and again,
no.
so does it take a lot of time, or how is
No,
it like?
actually, the activation in the provisioning system happens at once, and then you activate all your modules, whatever you have been licensed to at once, and then you start work in the instance later. So the administrator need not have to go back to provisioning system now and then to activate stuff. It will already be activated, and he can do his normal duties daily.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, let's take a quick break. 2-minute break, and we'll come back. Okay, I'm going to pause the record.
Great.
So you can see both the regular traditional SAP and the SuccessFactors one, and this is how you get the OSS ID and the OSS password, and you can just go ahead and log into your SuccessFactors incident management system. It's called SAP One Support portal. It looks a lot different. I mean, even they changed the traditional OSS as well. It looks a lot different now. When you log in.
Yeah, they did a good thing in merging both. One centralized place will help everybody.
Yep. And yeah, when you go in there, you can see, I mean, I was just like, I logged in and all the look and feel was like completely different the other day. So. Okay, so I'm going to switch to the presentation mode. Questions?
Yeah, just to add to the releases, if the administrator or the company's designated administrator will get the release information, what is changed, what is deleted, what is upgraded, and they can decide on the testing based on that. And the thorough testing needs to be done after every quarterly release.
Quick question, Mahesh. This is Suresh. What is the environment like, especially with the provisioning system?
Yeah.
Is it, for development, we give more access for the, quality and production, we may have less. How does that work in SuccessFactors?
Yeah, sandbox is almost like you can play around, and then the developer will have restricted things, and then you can do the changes in the sandbox and get it to the development through a tool called instance synchronization. And once you do that, the changes move from one system or one box to other, and you can do your testing and then move it forward. So that's how it will work.
Is that provision system is different for each instance in this scenario?
No, just one. Just one.
Okay, how do we correlate actually between development, in the provisioning system we provide full access in the development. How does that correlate to production actually? I mean maybe with the transport system, like you mentioned.
Yeah, provisioning system is just only enabling the features, right? So security is different. Yeah. The security is at the instance level.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The security is going to control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the synchronization tool will keep everything in sync.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And one more question is on the home screen. Can we add any custom links or any?
Yes.
Yeah, there is. Right here, links.
I mean, when I say custom links, maybe external website links or anything. Absolutely. Like the manager.
You can.
Okay.
Yes, you can. You can do it. You can add, again, it can be controlled through security. An administrator definitely can, but user might not or may have. So it depends on the organization actually. So they can provide access for that, enabling the external links or even logos for that matter can be changed. Yeah. You can add a custom tile. You can make it customizable. You can add your own picture. You can do things like that. Yes.
You can change the theme too. There are a lot of themes. Right now you see a new theme. You can change the themes.
Yeah. Actually, we have not yet enabled the theme thing in this because I checked it. There is something called as a theme manager. And through theme manager, you can control the background color, the display, and how it will show and all that. But unfortunately, we don't have that in the administrative tool as of now in the company settings. So once we enable that in the provisioning system, we will be able to make the theme change. We can change the color of this, like the home page, to blue, some pink or some other navy blue or whatever color, green color or whatever color, and we can rearrange the things here and all that. So it can be done by the theme manager, and also like the branding. Branding is the thing for logos and all that. So you can change, upload, do everything related to the logos. So SuccessFactors enables administrator to do all that. So yes, you can do various things through the administrative tools, company settings. That is the company-wide changes you can do at one place that has the total tools listed at one place for the administrator. So system-wide like configuration can be done through that place.
Thank you.
Hari, you can. Yeah, no problem.
So I'm going to jump into a presentation, pretty nice presentation from SuccessFactors actually. So let's kind of go through that. Okay, I'm just going to go through some of the topics pretty quickly because we just seen it. We just looked at that to-do, centralizing all the tasks to be completed in one single, place. Basically, general navigation we talked about. You can see the extensive list of items here, which currently we don't have license. For example, you can see recruiting, succession management, calibration goals. So typically, you should see a pretty big list if you have license to look at all the products. And we did talk about the options module, change password, start page, security questions and things like that, right? We just looked at that. Okay, we didn't go to the review set. We'll just go there in a second to the reviews. We looked at the user data, right? UDF files. UDF files is basically an Excel-based spreadsheet. We uploaded, imported, different locations, different files. We looked at that. So now, security, right? In the security, you can define the roles by department, division, or location, and there are a lot of custom fields. So in addition to the standard elements, you can also define groups, like a manager group, HR managers, custom managers, second managers. So role-based permission matrix allows you to control permission based on target population or groups, basically. So managers will have certain access, senior managers will have certain access, HR managers will have certain access, and you can define these roles based on certain standard elements that are offered within SuccessFactors. And groups can be dynamic. Obviously, you can add people to the groups, and you can grant all access to a particular group. So you can create a group and say, hey, this group, I need access to all the features within the system. So it's called the role-based permission. And there's something called legacy permission model. In certain situations, the customer may choose to configure their system with the legacy permission model and not the role-based permission model. This needs to be this is a provisioning system access. You have to go there, check the legacy permission, and if you're not, then you go back to role-based permission. So it's either or. If you do role-based permission, it's a pretty traditional approach where you create roles, where you create groups, and then you give access to the groups. Groups pretty dynamic. You can create groups for all kinds of attributes in the system. And then we talked about creating the admins. So you can have many admins who have access to the admin tools. Again, a super user is an admin who has the ability to grant admin an access. Okay. So let's get into the goals management section. Goals basically are objectives that an employee needs to accomplish that particular year. So SuccessFactors goal management helps organizations ensure that employees are aligned with the company's policies, philosophies, and strategy. Basically, if the company says, I'm going to provide $100 million in revenue, all the employees need to align their goals to the corporate strategy or the corporate goal. Again, goal management drives the success of the company. It helps you more tightly align the efforts of the entire organization and provide accountability to your employees. So in the goals homepage, when I log in, I can see I'm logged in right here. You can see these are my goals. 50% of the total revenues will come from products that are 3 years old. Cross-train administrative staff by date. Attend a training performance management skills. So I created my own goals right here. The way to create the goals is you go into the goals management tab, and these are my goals for 2015. You can see all these things are public. Visibility, there is a visibility, all these things are public. Okay, and I can look at see the progress of each of my goals. Okay, and I have my goals for 2016, I have goals for 2015, but especially these are my public goals. I can click on these goals, I can take certain action, I can edit my goals. So this is a public goal. Category is financial. The goal is ensure 50% of my total revenues come from products within 3 years old. What is the metric? When I get the 50%. And you can also weight, means if this can be let's say 50% of the weightage for all the goals. So it means this is my this is my very important goal, for example. And when do you start it? When do you end it? Mostly it's the year, beginning of the year and end of the year. And did you actually status? Not started. You can should always be on track. Right, means behind. You can also create milestones within the goals. You can also have sub goals within the goals, and you can also, this is a custom field that I added called revenue. You can add any number of custom fields back to your goals, and you can make the changes. You can save the goals. Okay, so let me go back to I'm looking at my goals as a user, as an end user. Let me go back. If you want to add a brand new goal, I go click on add new goal, and then I can say create a new goal. So this is a brand new template. Looks like the upgrade that we did has an effect. It's a goal template. So this is in the brand new look and feel. Basically, I can create a brand new goal. I can create a personal goal. I can make this goal private. This is going to be my internal business process. Okay, I can say my goal is to get ISO certified. And metric is when this weightage, let's say I'm just going to give 10% weightage, and I just started it, not started. I can change and edit goals whenever I want. I can add a milestone to it. Milestone maybe every quarter. Let's say let's say by end of the middle of the year. Milestone is I have completed initial review, something like that. Okay. You can also give the actual date, whenever you've completed this thing, and I can save the changes. Okay, as a user, I am adding my own goals. I'm changing my goals. I can click on any of these goals. I can cascade them. I can move them back to my subordinates. Right now I'm the admin. I have 2 people reporting to me. I can take that goal and I can cascade them down to my people who are reporting back to me. Okay, so now if I log in back as my two employee 1 and employee N, they will see these goals. So I'm pushing my goals back to my employees down below. Okay, so this is my view as the end user, and I'm going to go back to an admin user. So this is where, as an administrator, you can go into goals and you can manage the goal templates. Okay, I can go into manage the goal templates. Again, I would strongly encourage you to watch the video. Let me see if I'm recording it. I guess it is being recorded. I can go into my goal plan templates. These are all my templates, goal templates. So the entire system, SuccessFactors, is template based. It's form based, template based. So right now, let me go into my 2014 goal plan. I'll click on it, and these are my general settings. Okay, default language, I can choose English. My 2015 goal plan, I can create some start date, end date, description. I can click on categories. Customizable completely based on your company. Typical companies can financial, customer satisfaction, process, learning and growth. I thought I can add a new category, for example, project management. For example, quality control. I need to maintain, if you're an automotive company, quality is a big thing, right? For an oil and gas company, safety is a big thing. I can add safety as a category, right here. I can add fields. I added a custom field called revenue. So I can click on add field. I can select, a field, by task, by description, I'm a custom field. I'm going to field label is, safety. Rating, something like that. Let's say this is a number.
Yeah, just to quickly add, we can create up to 15 custom fields. More than 15, we need to get back to support team of SuccessFactors, and they will help us to create more if we require.
So these are the standard ones: goal name, metric, weight, start date, due date, percentage complete status, milestone, sub goals. These are the standard ones. So these are the two custom ones that I created, and you can put them on any of the forms, if it's already available on the form, and you can create again another custom category. For example, here label is safety, default is English, and I save it. Okay, done. So you can create as many templates as you want. Maybe one template for your IT people, one template. Goals are different for different people. Sales people have different goals. Your technical people have different goals. Executives have different goals. So you can create multiple goals for multiple types of people. Okay. I also created a goal plan called extended. Let me see this. Same field, same things. So just another type of goals. And once you create the goal plan template, you can click on any of the goals template that you created, and you can cascade them down below. And you can also use this is how you create a brand new template. You can use a basic goal template, add to my instance. I'm going to say this is for my goal plan for sales team. Save it, and increase service revenue by accounts, whatever, and then you can add different categories. Okay, customer satisfaction. You can add new fields, you can add new categories, and you can save it. Okay, I can do a preview. So you can manage the templates. It will take you to the same section. You can manage the templates for goals. You can manage the templates for performance. This is the annual performance review. and this is for my development. Means I need to do some basic developmental plans for myself, and you can also get 360 view feedback from. So everything is template based, and each of these things, let me go to the goal plan. Let's go to performance plan, vision template, general settings. So you can see, because this is a performance, you have a rating scale. How am I going to get rated, and who's going to approve these things? Name, description. So these are the two key things: route map and rating scale in the performance. So let me jump back to the presentation. So I create my basic goals. Goal plan is basically a worksheet used by employees and managers to create performance goals in one central place and track the progress toward the year. Look and feel, is based on templates. We just looked at that. Okay, so you can see this is how the goals, typically once everything is done, you can see here Carla Grant. These are all our direct reports. Carla Grant reports up to Alan Thompson. You can see, you can see that she's behind on this particular goal. You can take some action on the particular goal, and you can create a brand new goal. You can use the goal wizard, and you can cascade them down, or you can copy from one goal to another goal. You can also mass assign goals. Mass assign goals means you can take like a very general goal. My company needs to be profitable, or my company needs to perform, my stock needs to go up 20%. So you can assign those goals, mass assign goals to a goals plan. Manager's role is basically working collaboratively with the direct reports, cascade the goals, monitor the goals. Employee, basically his role is to create the goals. Okay. Goal visibility, we just looked at it. You can make it private or public. You can give read-write access. You can also use the UDF file to give access to others who can see the goal. Who can see the goal. Goal templates, we just looked at it. You can create categories. Financial, customer, you can add custom categories such as safety, for example, quality, for example. And you can also add custom fields. We just looked at it. These are the standard fields, but I can add safety ratings or quality ratings or quality metrics, things like that over there. And goal library, they have a lot of, information, like a big database of goal library that comes with SuccessFactors. You can choose your goals from the goal library. You can use the goal wizard, and you can create goals using the libraries. A lot of standard goals are already part of the goal library within the system. Okay. So you can see the goal library. You can go to accounting. You can go to finance accounting. So you can see all these things are already available to you. Create system to identify proper accounting and documentation activities. So this is a library of goals already available to most people to start creating your personal goals. Okay. Cascading, you can cascade up, you can cascade down, you can cascade across. So cascade across means peer to peer. To your reports, you can cascade up. I know it's pretty rare, but you can cascade up. Always, typically, it's cascade down goals. You can link goals. You can link one goal to another goal. You can see how goals are linked between organizations. Let's say you are in sales and your goals are linked, to somebody in production. They need to deliver products on time, so you can sell it. Things like that. You can, link the goals across, different organizations. You can also look at goal execution map. Goal execution map is it will show you the alignment of goals on the execution map. So this map allows you to take large strategic company goals and break them down so that employees can understand the detailed task, almost like a project plan. So my goal is to, $100 million revenues. How am I going to accomplish it? So there's sales, there is marketing, there is production, there is IT. So you can kind of break it down, higher level goals down to like a lower level goals in a more strategic fashion. Okay. And you can look at something very, like a status, report. You can look at the execution map right here, how things, how these goals are linked and how these goals are, connected to each other. You can also look at the status reports. Hey, where are you, within a given month. Okay, and this is the goal execution map. And increase customer net production score. This goal is linked to these two people, okay, to Sid and as well as Williamson, and then this goal is linked to Rihanna. So you can see that increasing customer, how is it linked, and how different people are rated differently. A goal can be very important to you, but could be less important to other people. So you can see the execution map of these goals across your company, across the board within the system. Meeting agenda, I just basically prints it, prints thing for if you have a go into the goal review meeting or performance review meeting or mid-year review meeting. It just prints thing for a meeting that is yet to come for you. Okay, next one is competencies. Any question on the goals? Let's go back here. Go back to goals. Okay. So I have ensure 50% of my total revenue come from it. This goal has been aligned down to Sheila and Vani. I have one more goal for customer cross to an administrative staff. By this date, it's not aligned. Everything is visible. I have not given any weightage factor. I can actually I can go edit all these goals and give them a weightage. Let's say this is 20% weightage. Let's say this is another 25% weightage. And I can also say this one is okay. I can save as new. I can make some changes. My status is I'm behind on it. Percentage complete is only 10. Will probably show up here as red, right here, percentage behind. So you can kind of give you a good overview these things. So right, say I started, I'm on track, I'm 90% done. Save changes, that'll show as green. Okay, and I have not created goals in learning and strategy, safety, and others. I have not created any goals, but you can go ahead right here, add new goal, and I can add a safety goal now, and I can cascade them back, and I can print these goals. Okay. Okay. Sales team. Okay, I can minimize it. That's me. I can also look at my goals from my subordinates. So I'm looking at the goals from my direct reports right now. I've already cascaded some of the goals, so pretty easy for a manager, to look at, see, alert transferred from admin back to my direct reports. So I can look at my goals from my direct reports. I can go ahead and make some changes, edit them. I can also go back to myself, and I can look at my goal plan. So this is my total goal plan. Right. So this is the customer view, and if I go back to my admin tools, so this is my configuration view. I can create email templates, notifications when goals are done. I can import, export goals. I can transfer goals between the users. I can manage the templates. Pretty basic, right? So in the email template for the goals notification, how do this is the email templates. For example, 360-degree. Please be advised that the user account has been deactivated. So you can create, 360 document completion notification, for example. You can click on that, and you can see advise that the document has been reviewed and completed. Okay, so all different emails that go out, throughout the process. Anything that in the parentheses square brackets is a keyword that will be substituted by some kind of information. You can create templates. You can upload templates. You can create different kinds of email templates in the system, or go and look at some of these things and change an email template. Let's say you have created a goal, you have deleted a goal, you have modified a goal, you have 360-degree approval notification pending, routing skip notification. So you can kind of look at all these emails. So it depends on the implementation, execution of your thing. Who needs to be notified, what emails. You need to kind of work with your project managers to create these email templates and email notification. And everything is right here in the goal management section. Mass import export goals, and you can manage the goals. Okay. And as I can said, you can go directly here. You can go directly here to manage templates, and you can find the same thing right here. Okay. Manage users, manage groups, manage roadmaps, manage competencies, job roles, rating skills, extensions, and things like that. Okay, let me go back to my presentation. Any questions? Let me take a quick pause. Go back here. Okay, any questions? Typical? Any? Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's good.
So next one is the competencies. Competencies are basically the abilities of employees. Abilities of employees in order to perform certain roles. So the key thing, most companies have one key competency is communication. Another competency really could be IT, project management, leadership skills, things like that. So all these competencies, typically they are part of your goals are different, your competencies are different. So annually when we do our goal management, so we create competencies and we create goals. So typically, you're rated on your competencies, but you can show your goal as a proof that you actually manage your competence. So competencies play a central role in several processes. Performance management, succession management, career development. So it's competencies. You can create there is a competency library, and you can use those competency libraries, and you can create best practices or core competency within the system.
So Hari, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So the core competencies are created by the direct manager or the reporting person, and then they are judged against the goals, right, which they are reached or not reached, something like that?
Yes, competency. For example, I'll give you an example of a competency is project management, right? For IT,
Mm-hmm.
Typically always had that project or leadership. Perfect example, leadership. Okay, demonstrate leadership. So I'm going to just say this competency. How am I going to demonstrate that? I'm going to use one of my goals as a reference in my competency. Hey, I had my goals to take on a leadership role at a project, and I did this and this and this. You can use that example to substantiate your competencies. You will be rated on your competencies also. How did I perform leadership? Or you did awesome job, 5.
Mm-hmm. So competencies are added to a particular role or to an individual too, like every
individual have to have demonstrate the competencies, but the competencies will be decided at the corporate level, which are called the core competencies.
Core competencies.
Means every employee has to demonstrate those things.
So this library has pretty much everything, the competency library.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can assign them by job roles, right? So, information technology, IT manager is a job role, database administrator is a role. You cannot ask system admin to show leadership skills, right? You cannot have system administrator to have say, oh, you need to do sales, skills. So different job roles can be assigned different competencies, basically.
Got it.
You can create job roles and you can create job families, and you can assign individual job roles have one or more competencies associated with them, basically. So roles are assigned to competencies. So your company expects IT managers to show leadership skills. Your company expects system administrators to show, presentation skills, good communication skills. Let's say if it is sales, your company expects the sales guy, to, get excellent customer, satisfaction. So aligning your company's vision back to the roles, and each role has to exhibit certain competencies. And there are core competencies which everybody has to exhibit. It's a must. And there are some additional optional competencies that you can add and prove above and beyond. And this is like a fluffy stuff. Sometimes you get rated on competencies, and then you can rate it on goals. Sometimes, you're asked to do, it's all the HR thing. There is no, right or wrong. Typically, what I've done when I worked, I had competencies, and then I would be rated on the competencies. And then for each of the competencies, I would show my goal as a proof that I performed those competencies. Make sense?
Yes.
But again, it depends on the, HR. It's all flexible, right? In the, HR world, everything is flexible. Your company choose only to have goals, only to have competencies. I don't know. I mean, it depends on the business process, how you, really decide those things. Basically, competencies are really behaviors. Behaviors an employee must exhibit, and they're assigned to job roles. And there is a competency library that you can use to define, different, Okay, one of these things here, one of the competencies here is customer focus. Okay, it's clearly defined here. Builds customer confidence. He is committed to increasing customer satisfaction. Sets achievable customer expectations. Assumes responsibility for solving customers' problems. So, if you are a consumer company, this is a core competency. If you're a Verizon or AT&T, if you're a sales guy, this is your bread and butter, right? And you get a 5, you get an outstanding, exceeding expectations. So you do a self-rating, and your manager also gives you a rating for these core competencies. Both. And here you use one of your goals. You're not required to, but you can use one of your goals to say, hey, this is what you've done, in a given situation. One customer walked in and you did an outstanding job. The customer gave you kudos, and everything was well, and you show that your manager really likes it, and he gives you a good rating. And you got a score of 3.27 in the this is the 360-degree evaluation. You can of course you can have a 360-degree evaluation, or you can also do an employee manager ratings. Now, your manager ratings is exceeded expectations. Marcus makes a point running specific duties, responsibilities. He writes everything and he puts a nice comment and gives him a lot of good kudos, and he's rated on the competencies. Okay. Here, customer focus will also tell you, exceeds expectations. What are some of the behaviors you need to exhibit? If you're just meeting, what are some of the behaviors that you exhibit? It's a very nice way for managers to rate you on your competencies. So conscious with the customers, always his customer's perspective, always follow through, always courteous, always exceeds expectations for the customer folk. Let's go into the system a little bit and then see. You can see in performance management, manage competencies. Go view competency libraries, SuccessFactors 2.0, accepting direction, accepting responsibility, acting decisively, acting strategically, adapting to change. So you can kind of look at all these things. You can look at accepting direction. You can say, what does it mean by meets expectations? He needs to define these things. He's exceeding expectations. You need to be doing these things. Okay, categories, fundamental work competencies. Okay, you can create your own categories in core competencies, and you can editable or not core. No, you can say it's not a core competency. And now this is assigned to these job roles. Okay. Right now, there's nothing has been assigned. So this you can assign the competency, accepting direction to certain job role. Right now, accepting direction is basically very good for subordinates, right? Somebody is like junior person, he needs to accept direction. So all your employees at the very bottom of the food chain, you need to make this a goal for them. And you can go into this is a goal library. You can think more. Working safely, pretty big thing for oil and gas. So every employee needs to exhibit that if you're working for Exxon Mobil or BP or things like that. Okay, if you can click on that, you can say core, obviously yes, or if it is a British petroleum. Okay, and you need to say not a personal competency. This is a portrait or something something global, fundamental. Okay, you go to fundamental, and it will be a core, and you can say and then these are all the things that you need to exhibit your competence, and you can say it. You can assign them to job roles, and I don't know if you have any created any. Yeah, we still need to set up a lot of data, in the system. So when we get to like a project or something like that, we can set up all those things. Okay. So that's the competencies. Competencies have a library. Competencies can be core, and competencies are assigned to a job role, and job role that becomes part of the employee. Okay, next one is performance. So what is performance management to you guys? What is Saiwani, what is performance management in your SAP world?
Performance is like is So getting into the performance of the year, like if you have achieved something.
Yeah, you achieved your goals or not, right? Now you have goals.
Yes.
You have
Achieved
core
any kinds of.
competencies. Have you achieved them or not? This is the rating process. This is the bonus, right?
Yes.
You get the
Yes.
bonus, you get the kudos. How did you
Again, the
perform?
bonuses again come in the compensation.
Yeah, but this
These are about the performance of the goals
yeah.
and any awards or something kinds of that.
Okay.
And look at this thing. Success Factors populates the goals from employee's goal plan onto employee's performance review form. So you don't have to create a performance review. So once you create the goals, a performance review form is already done, right? It's completely populated with core and job specific competencies. We just talked about it, right? Competencies and goals, and then it will ask you for your self rating. You have to rate yourself, and then your manager gives you rating on the performance review at the year end.
So essentially you are measured against your goals, like how far have you reached your goals, you have exceeded your expectations or you have not reached.
Yep. You populate the goals from the
And depending on that, you will be given. Yeah, depending on that, you will be given awards like your ratings and salary expectations, merit increases, depending on this.
Yep. Anybody had any different opinions on performance review? How does it go? Like, in a typical Padma, you have any experience with the performance?
I don't have any experience performance management side.
Yeah, it's a
It's a generally self-evaluation by the employee and which can be forwarded to the manager.
Yep.
And basically manager will say based on the employee self-evaluation, they'll have their own opinion based on how employee performs over whole annual, I'm talking about annual process basically.
Yes.
How the employee performed the whole year, and they will provide their own rating. And basically they'll come back to employee and say, this is the rating I'm providing to you. And employee either can accept that rating or, can say, no, I'm expecting more than this or whatever it is basically. And then it's agreement between the employee and the manager.
Yep.
It can be forwarded to HR, with the rating level, they'll have their compensation maybe increased.
Mm-hmm.
And the same way job evaluation also can be done.
Yeah.
The employee for his promotion, they can do their job evaluation for the whole year, or when he is getting promoted, they can check like the job, whatever is doing the current job, that can be evaluated, and then the decision can be made by the manager whether he can be promoted or no. And he can just give his performance review of the whole job that he was working the whole year or years, and depending on that, the decision can be made.
Yeah, it's like a consensus meeting between a manager and an employee, and if the employee does not even meet basic expectations, then it's an improvement plan, or then the rating is given.
Yeah, I mean, at every, maybe, February, March, you do the goals, you set your goals, and there is a mid-year, goals review, and at the, end of the year, you review where your goals are again, you complete your goals, you do comment on your goals, and then maybe in December, January timeframe next year, you look at the performance of the prior year. So your goals, whatever for 2014 gets copied over into 2015. You also core competencies gets copied over. It's a form based, and then you evaluate yourself. Hey, I think I did a really good, excellent job. Your manager might think otherwise, or he might think the same thing. He will give you the rating. You sit down, you discuss about it, and if you're less than acceptable performance, you come up with a development plan. Either or, actually most people, it doesn't matter, you do come up with a development plan together, and then that will lead into your compensation for your bonus, your stock options, and things like that. That's the kind of the overall process, HR process, end to end. And then maybe by March, April, you get your stock options, you get your bonuses, you get your pay raise. And it's a very cumbersome process. There is a lot of documentation, but I think this is SuccessFactors really does a great job. Is this thing, it copies your goal plan into the performance review, and once you have your worksheet, it automatically routes it to the next level. Then your manager can look at it, you can do self-evaluation, your HR can look at it, and it'll become part of your record, for a long time to come. So in PM, we use PM version 12. In 2012, a redesigned performance template was introduced, and it's a template based system, optimizes user experience of the managers basically. So we use PM 12. SuccessFactors optimized the process for common manager scenarios, including stack ranking, ranking everything together. You can also do bell curves. You can also do upgrades, downgrades of the ratings. You can also look at the assessing the performance review forms. Okay, let's look at the typical performance review forms. Okay, I'm in the performance module right here, Carla Grant. I'm looking at all the performance sheets for the direct reports. So performance review for Vic, performance review for Richard Max, performance review for Sid, for team evaluation for Sid. So these are all the forms pending in Carla Grant's performance inbox in progress worksheet. It'll show you the when it is due, and show when it is modified, and also action that you need to take. You can do a lot of filtering. You can do when it is due. You can do by employee. You can do by step. Okay, and you can also create a new form. New performance for new person, copies goals, and start the process. So in version 2, you have a form title, you have a form workflow and form section. This is this is your standard worksheet for performance evaluation. You can see here, this is your goals that got copied over into performance evaluation, and this is her ratings, and this is these managers ratings. You can see the overall score. You can see 1 out of 10. You can see your gap analysis. So we'll jump into the system and we'll look at how this thing lines up. Okay, so this is the performance evaluation process. Employee does a self-review, it goes to manager review, you sit down and discuss it, you go for signature, and then you go to the completion status. So your route process, your routing workflow needs to be configured to do this. So this probably the routing is the most complicated thing in SuccessFactors. Everything I see is pretty straightforward, intuitive. You can figure out just by looking at it. And the routing is probably the only little bit complicated portion of the whole process. And we'll definitely get into that. Create a route map. Route one of these forms to the next stage. Look at how to use the rating scale. Okay, so let's go into the system. Okay, I'm going to go into my admin tools, performance management. All the forms. This is my annual performance review for one of my direct reports. Okay, and the rating was financial, increased customer net score rating by 80%, and I haven't done any rating yet, and then my direct report has not done any, right? It has not started because I did not send it to the next thing. So all the again here you can see core competencies: acting with integrity, supporting co-workers. Okay, all these decising actively, all these things are core competencies that got copied over based on my configuration, based on my settings. Okay, how does my Sheila sets a strategic vision? How does he manage political situations? So it's all, everything is configured. So as soon as I create a new performance review template, my goals are here, my competencies are here in the same place, and I can get rated. And then once everything is done, I can get signed electronically, gets routed and goes to the next step. Again, this is my team view. I can see right now I don't have any people. I only have one person in the team. But if you have 10 people, you can see the entire team where you're at. Self-assessment in progress, management in progress. You can see if you have 15 people, 20 people, becomes very easy to see your team right here. So this is what we have to do. We have to build the data to see a real scenario, real situations. So going forward, we're going to be doing assignments, building teams, creating employees, creating goals, creating the performance worksheets, creating these competencies, and building the data so we can have a good system to demonstrate. So I'm going to go back here, go back to the performance management. I'm going to go back to my manage templates, go back to performance view, and these are my templates. So I'm going to go back to my 2015 annual review, okay, and I'm click on my general ratings. So performance, we assign the route map. So it's only self review. You can also do manager review, and I can change the rating scale. This is the one I created, R3, rating scale 1 to 3. This is rating scale 1 to 5. So I can change it to rating scale 1 to 3 right now. Okay. And I can also go into advanced settings. I'm actually creating the performance management template. So here in advanced settings, I can default a start date. I can automatically, with automatic manager transfer, when you transfer managers, automatically transfer to the new manager. This happens all the time. When there is a major transfers, organization changes. So whenever there is a change, it automatically goes to the new manager. We can enforce start dates and end dates. Okay, you can enable the spell check. You can enable the legal scan. You can enable the writing assistant. You can disable the delete buttons. You can disallow users from changing the start date. So okay, you can allow all this advanced configuration. You can add some additional fields in here. You can maybe in the performance summary you want to have a section feature use or something that you can customize those things in the general section. In the introduction, these are the objectives, and these are the core values. In the core values, you can see core competencies: acting with integrity, serving customers, supporting coworkers, and working safety. These are all the core competencies I have added to my core values, and these will be get rated, and those are part of your 2015 annual review template. And these basically your whole success factors thing really is creating these templates, working with the users, working with the HR people, working with the processes, and creating the templates for your next next performance review. Basically, I'm going to leave the page. I can create a brand new template. For example, I can use an annual review template. I can always use the this is manager review template. This is just the annual review template. Manager review template means manager actually a route map is defined for PM V2. Add to my instance, like the name is not there, created, and I'm going to my general settings. I'm going to edit fields. I'm going to go into each of the settings and reviews. Okay. And they're all part of my goal. So just I'm going to save it, cancel it. And they're there. You go back. I can make some changes. Somebody's on the call. Okay.
This is Sheila.
Okay, I think you just talked it out.
Okay. Okay, any questions so far? Everything going okay?
Yes.
What we can do is, I think, first let's talk about some assignments. So we have covered the basic intro to mastery. Basically your UDF files, security, roles, search, homepage, slash portlets, proxy, options, things like that.
Goals.
So introduction, just a navigation, your search, your admin, role, provisioning, instant. So do a brief write-up. Obviously, I would like you to, everybody to go and practice and please do a brief write-up on all these things. You can just be like 2 lines, 2 sentences. Don't have to be very elaborate. So we understand. I know that you understood all these different concepts. So just write up a document.
What's the first one there, Hari? UDF?
UDF file, the file that we talked about, import, export, UDF.
Oh, import, export, or Excel, okay. So how do we know what all files SuccessFactors support? Like we have imported one from Excel, right? So
You export it, yeah. First you export it and then you import it.
So whatever, like Excel or Google Docs or anything, or how do we know that?
I didn't get that. How are you going to send this to me?
No. Like we have done an import export of the employee data using Microsoft Excel, correct?
Yep. It's a CSV file, yeah.
CSV file. So we can use other things too, or just an Excel is the only compatible thing?
Only CSV file in that format, yeah. So CSV file.
Okay.
It has to be the comma delimited file.
So then after that, I think you can convert to whatever format you need after you download it, right?
Well, of course, yeah. But to import it, it needs to be again in the CSV file format.
Yeah. Again, it has to be converted to CSV and then you upload it.
Yes. Yeah. If you're, let's say, SAP, right? SAP to SuccessFactors by default there's a connection. But if you're doing from Oracle, yeah, you extract it, convert it into a UDF file, save it as CSV, and then import it.
Yeah.
Okay. Just write 2 lines each of the basic topics in the introduction to mastery, and also practice. Okay, And also do the same thing, just write one paragraph on goals, performance. That's it, goals and performance. We haven't started anything else. Okay? You know, just write, you know, what do you understand about goals, what do you understand about performance, what is the annual review process, what is the goals process, what is the goals template. I'll write it here. Okay, goal template, you know, creating goals, cascading goals, goal template, creating goals, cascading goals. Okay, same thing in performance. Creating templates, signing roadmaps, rating skills, competencies, job roles. We'll review again. Performance is an intro. I'll you know, do a more we'll do a more detailed review on both performance and goals one more time. So understand the job roles, competencies, rating skills, roadmaps, templates, just the process in general. Process. Okay. Yeah, if you can write something, you know, on these topics, and take this as an assignment. Our goal is to build more data. Okay, so start building data. Start building data, that is, you know, create more users, create org structure, you know, create direct reports. Okay, and then create goals for those direct reports. So start creating some data. There is no, it's blank template. So start creating some data so we can have a good, you know, good exercises and, you know, review, you know, going forward. So yeah, very high level. You know, we our company settings also we forgot. Okay, settings, you know, text replacement, logo, company settings, text replacements, logo. So yeah, whatever you can, you know, do, you know, here, just keep write up something, you know, upgrades, for example, upgrades, search tool, upgrades, watching videos. So we covered pretty good, I think, you know. I know it's been 3 hours, I mean 2.5 hours, but we covered a lot of ground. And once we do the, you know, these two, we're going to be looking at the analytics. We're going to be looking at the, you know, compensation, and we'll focus later. EC is a big chapter. And then we're going to future looking forward. We're going to do a review again of goals, performance management, compensation, and then we're going to do coding, analytics, and then we're going to do EC. So that's kind of the goal, you know, path forward. And everybody's okay at 10, right? So you want to do tomorrow? You want to skip tomorrow? We'll skip tomorrow, okay?
Hari, this is Suresh.
Yes, Suresh.
I know I joined a little bit late. You guys decided on Sunday morning at 10 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay, actually I have up to 11. I have commitments till end of May. I know, maybe, I know you're recording also. Is that okay? I can join around 11?
Yeah, by the time we log in, it will be 11 anyway. So yeah, we'll be recording, you know, all these topics. So Yeah, we'll do, Sunday 10 a.m. CST, we'll do 4 hours, okay?
Yeah, is Suresh in CST or EST?
I'm in CST.
Samcho.
Okay.
Okay. And then, all the documentation is on Google Drive. Already put everything out there, okay? So this one that you're looking at right now, it's a very good one. I would encourage everybody to go through, page by page, and then read it. It's out there online. And this is exactly the training document that you will get if you go to, SuccessFactors training.
Hari, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If we have multiple admins handling the same data, so all those admin people, each one of them can see the entire user history and the user data and everything?
Admins can, yes. Uh-huh.
Even like multiple admins, right? Like 2 to 3 admins.
Oh yeah, you can have multiple admins and each person can see the entire data.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, typically you can have a backup, just in case. I mean, just a user ID admin, so you can have multiple admins. Definitely, a super user is the one who can create admins. So right here.
So if we're trying to add, like as an admin, I'm trying to create a user, and then how do I communicate that to another admin, or they just look up in the data?
If you're an admin, right, let's look at this one here, okay. Looked at that. Users. Yeah, basically, this is the admin, right? So right now I'm logged in as an admin. The admin is a user. Basically, I'm a user that has access to functionality of the admin tools page. And in admin, if you get access to admin tool page, you can see everything. You can see all the users. Basically. And a super user is an admin who has the ability to grant admin rights to other users. So you need to be a super user to make somebody an admin.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you have security administrator. It's a role. He doesn't have anything else, but he can only add users. He can.
Okay.
He can create, add users to the groups. He cannot create templates. He cannot create performance management templates. He cannot do anything else. He can.
So security admin will take care of authentication and authorization, and everything else is taken care of by the other admin.
Yep. So the security guy only gets this portion.
Okay, got it.
This portion. The regular admin gets everything. He can get to create goal templates. He can get to performance templates. He can compensation templates. He gets everything. So admin cannot take care of everything, right? In typical SAP implementation, you have security guy separate. So that guy, he does all these things: uploads, imports, user profiles, user passwords, user accounts, emails. So he does all these things, proxies. And the super user maybe just one or guy who actually gives admins access. And then you have provisioning system, which is very rare. You don't get into provisioning system all the time, only one time. You activate it, right? You're done. You don't get there pretty often. Okay. So go through, make sure you're comfortable getting into the system. As an end user, you were able to create goals, navigate the system, create the performance, go into so all the different portions, as an end user, and get into the admin tool, go through all these different worksheets, So whatever we have kind of taught you, just make sure you practice it. Write about 20, whatever, make a page, one line for each of those things, and send it back to us. And let's see if we can go through these things. Okay, one more time. We talked about competencies. Performance management, we talked about it. So you copy the goals back into employees. We're using performance management 12. Assessing the performance reviews, you go to the home page, and it's going to show up on your title. So this is the performance forms for all the things. You create a new form, new performance review for all those things, and then based on the form, your competencies will show up automatically in the performance review, and then you complete the review. Because the routing map is assigned to it, you route it and you send it. So the key thing is, the route map. That's probably the most complicated thing, and we'll practice more. How to create a route map, how to edit a route map, how to change a route map, how to assign the route map to a form, how to route different things. So we'll practice that. We'll practice this thing a lot. Goal execution worksheet, competencies. We have another system which is a lot more access to it. I did not log into that system today. Maybe I'll log in right now and then show you a little bit more into that system. Maybe I'll do that. We have 30 more minutes. Let me log into other system. Competencies, rating skills. We looked at that. Okay, and then route maps. So we'll focus more on route maps next week. So this is like a little bit complicated topic. We'll see how do we modify the stage, how do the signature stage, how do you do the completion stage, the exit stage. Okay. Give me a second. Let me log into the other system that's a little bit more access to it. So I'll show you how that system looks.